Good evening, everybody. I am in Pennsylvania. Sun is behind me. We got a bit of a sunset. Get to show you guys all the trees of Pennsylvania. This is up on I-80. Real scenic drive. I like coming through here. I'm not a fan of coming out east, but if you gotta pick a spot, you know, I definitely would do Pennsylvania. It's probably my favorite of the states. Partially because it's you know, it's got a lot of hills, you know, mountains. So it kind of reminds me of home, just a whole lot greener. I better turn that on. All this climbing's making the engine hot. But for as fun as it's been, you know, coming out here, I've been pretty much reminded all day why I don't like coming out here. You know, there's two reasons, you know, there's two things I don't like about coming up into the Northeast, and I've been dealing with them both all day. That being toll booths and work zones. And I've been debating on if I want to try to pass this guy or not. He seems to really cut off the speed. I catch up to him, but when we hit the next hill, he outruns me because he's a lighter vehicle. But anyways, toll booths, work zones. Virtually every state up here in the Northeast has a toll booth of some kind. You know, it starts in Illinois when you're passing through Chicago, and then you get onto the 80-90, and you deal with the toll booth in Indiana. You get to that state, get into Ohio, you're still on the same freeway, you got to go through a toll booth there. When you come over here to Pennsylvania, if I had taken 76 instead of 80, then I would have had to deal with another toll booth. If I had gone north up to New York, you know, 95, guess what? I'd be dealing with another toll booth. You got to pay a toll to cross the George Washington just to get into New York City. You get into New York City, and if you have a drop-off in Hunts Point, you got to pay a toll just to get into the warehouse area. So toll booths everywhere. I don't know how people put up with it. I really don't. I think it was somebody told me once to cross the George Washington it was like $175 for a semi. I don't know what it is, you know, going down the 80-90 or going on 76. You know, I could probably find out more if I look at my paycheck stub next time, because I will definitely see the charges. But it always annoyed me because one of the things that my company used to do was they would get me on this consistent course that would take me from like Illinois to either Jersey or New York City, and just back again, you know, back and forth. You know, I mean, that's like all of the toll roads. Not very cost effective. And the other problem that I always have being up here are the work zones. You might be thinking to yourself, well, we have work zones all over the place. Yes, we do. difference between the east and the west, though, is that in the west, the speed limit of the freeways is like 80 miles per hour. They might reduce you down to like 65. Well, that's pretty much my governed speed. So I never actually have to slow down. You just blast through those suckers. As opposed up to here, even when you have multiple lanes, like 3 lanes, and they shut down one, they always reduce you to just a ridiculous speed. In most cases, it's either 45 or 50. Now, when you keep hitting one work zone after another, you start to add up all that lost time. I mean, you're sitting there going through these things for miles at a time, and I actually did the math on it, and it was I was losing roughly between like 40 and 80 miles per trip, or like each day of driving. So I was wasting more time, but doing, or I should say, I was wasting the same amount of time, spending the same time each day driving, but I was getting fewer miles than what I normally do. When you're a driver who gets paid by the mile and you get fewer miles, you don't have to be a genius to realize that you're going to get a smaller paycheck. Which is a big reason why a lot of these guys, just go balls out with their speed. And do like 75 and 80 like everywhere. Suppose I need to beep off right there. And a lot of these guys on the East Coast, they'll actually do that 70-80 through those work zones I'm talking about. Which in turn actually leads a lot of times to a lot of hate on me, because of what I'm doing the work zone speed limit. They get on the CB, they say a bunch of really nasty things to you. They give you the one finger salute, and they end up blasting through the work zone. Man, you two guys went through all that trouble, passed me up. I have a feeling this guy's drunk. Seen somebody so shaky? I mean, look at that. He's all over the road back there. But yeah, so there's no common courtesy. The speed limit for the work zone is there to help keep the workers safe. I get it. I don't like the fact that it's so low and I lose time, but I understand why it's there. And yet these guys don't. A lot of these other drivers and even the four-wheelers just go blasting through full speed all the time. And my heat is up again. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I've been dealing with today. You know, going through tolls. Luckily, I don't have to deal with any for a while. I don't think I'll even have to deal with them tomorrow. But tolls and work zones, and it's always like a non-stop thing, especially in like Ohio. They do these work zones that are usually like 5 to 10 miles long. And the funny thing about them is that a lot of times you don't see any work equipment or crews or anything out there. It's just like 5 to 10 miles of cones, and they slow down the speed. I don't know if they do that intentionally, just to, you know, just to get everyone to save fuel or to bunch up or what, but it drives me crazy. At least in this case, you know, it wasn't as bad as how I remembered, like 3 years ago, whenever the last time was that I came through. Oh, hi there, buddy. You want to come on over? Yeah, okay. Just go ahead and jump there in front of me. Yeah, when you come out here on the East Coast, I find a whole lot more drivers, a lot more traffic, and you see a lot of stuff like that. I guess that's probably like another reason why I like going in the West and Southwest, especially when you get on 80 going through Nevada. You know, it's like just you for like 2 hours at a time, you know, before somebody will eventually pass you. I love it. I love having the whole freeway to myself. But the closer you get to the major cities, you know, the more and more traffic you start seeing. But until you do, try to sit back and enjoy the scenery, enjoy all of the green. So much green. There's always that constant debate, you know, like West is sitting there complaining about droughts and stuff. And people in the East are always like, you know, how can there be a drought? There's water all over the place. Well, I mean, that's because the west side of the country is a big giant desert. You know, over here you guys got all kinds of rivers. Rivers and streams and tributaries and whatever else what you want to call them. Like down here, for example, look at the size of that river. That is huge. That's going to produce a whole lot of green. The only time we ever see something like that is if it rains really heavy and we end up with a flash flood. So yeah, I mean, all kinds of stuff grows out here. It's especially great like down around Georgia and stuff, because I mean, you got things growing on top of things. You know, you get a tree, you get the moss on a tree, you get those like moss leaves. Somebody sticks a telephone line into the ground, it grows moss. Everything turns green down there. You know, if we had the the amount of the water that the east does, I'm pretty sure we would all be all green too. So just being green with envy. No, I'm just joking. We love our desert. And up and over again. Show up at New Bethlehem. As you saw there on that side, I'm only about 64 miles into Pennsylvania. I said I might as well knock out this video now while I still have a little bit of light, because probably wouldn't be much fun to show you all this nature when it's pitch black. I'm gonna get to my stop about probably around 9:30 or so. Hopefully my butt can wake up at a decent hour tomorrow. I've been lagging on this trip. First trip back, and I'm just I cannot get my head in the game. You gonna race me, Humvee? You gonna race me? Come on, let's go. Yeah, you can get right in front of me, just like they always do. That's not even a real Humvee, you bastard. One of the things that I would like to show is, or some of the farmhouses. You know, the farmhouses that have been around for like 7 generations of families. They're absolutely huge up here. Time to my sunglasses away, it's getting too dark. Maybe we'll get lucky and one pops up. I'll tell you one thing though, if I grew up in this area, I would be out there in those trees every single day. Every day. My parents would probably have to call for a search party like constantly. Because I would just go run out there, get lost. Probably lose half my of my G.I. Joes in the woods. Yeah, I spent a lot of time outdoors back in my kid days. But that was back in the 80s before we had any real electronic stuff. We were still living on the Atari, so we didn't have PCs, Nintendo systems, or anything like that. You had to go outside and grab a stick and turn it into a sword. And there's probably a lot of sticks to grab around here. That's basically what I see, like, each time I look at any of these woods in any of the eastern states. I just see a huge playground. Mobile home park hiding back there. Come on, gear down. yeah, and the other thing is we're we're coming up to fall now, which would actually be a funner time to come through here, because then it gets really colorful. I remember one time driving through, I think I was in Virginia, but I mean, same thing, just a little, just a bunch of trees, and it was up around fall time, so you had all of those oranges and yellows and stuff, and like reds. You come around and you're facing this hill. It looks like it looks like one of those paintings that you see at the dentist's office. And if I'm not mistaken, I should actually be coming up to the highest point east of the Mississippi. And I do believe it's the Chesapeake watershed. And they say it's like 5780 or something like that. It's in the 5,000 foot range. Which really is nothing. It's my house is at the 5,000 foot range. We're not even the highest point. Another good example is Vail. Vail is 10,660. So I mean that's twice the height right there. That's why when a lot of people who live in the Rockies come over here to the east to view the mountains here, a lot of times we end up driving through them without even realizing it, because we're actually looking for mountains. And to us, all of this just looks like a bunch of rolling hills. So you stop somewhere and you ask for directions to them, and people would be like, well, you're in the middle of them. You're already here. I'll say one thing though, this side has some really steep grades. Now I'll be facing some of those here soon. If this exit 123 is the one I'm thinking of, it's gonna be a bit of a frustrating ride for me. I hate going on that US highway. But Jill seems to always route me to it, no matter what I do. See, you can kind of see a bit of the color change here. This was also a pretty good spot to film this at, because it stopped raining again. Woke up in the rain again this morning. It stopped for a little bit yesterday, but when I woke up again, in Indiana and Ohio were drowning. Just constant rain all day. And I finally get here and the rain goes away. We get warmer weather. Such a nice time to drive, though. I think at this point, I will probably call it quits for the video. I've only got a little under 3 hours. I would say we're in the 2.5 hour range. Might be 3 hours if I have to go down the US highway that I'm thinking of before I get to my stop tonight. And then I should be left with about 80 miles tomorrow. And tomorrow will probably be a bit of a short day. I drop off at one place at noon, and I figured out that I have to pick up at another place at 2000. And so that means that I'm gonna have a bit of a downtime. I've already got things planned out. I found out this place has. The place that I'm picking up from has truck parking. So I am going to drop off at the place that I'm going to now. Take the trailer over to the new place. They actually do washouts on site. They charge for them, but hey, whatever, right? Get a receipt. There you go. There's one of those nice farmhouses. Drop off this trailer, go pick up, and then probably shut down and do my 8. Do at least an 8. I don't think this trip is in any kind of hurry. It's only like a 670-some trip. I mean, that's almost a day trip. I could leave really early in the morning and almost be there by the end of the day. That one will probably get me back into the meat patch. Get me back to doing my West Coast stuff. But like I said, I will probably call it quits on the video here and just keep on driving. Enjoy a little bit of music until I get to my stop for the night. So I will talk to you guys later.